Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sanjoy Shil. I'm an electronics and telecommunication engineer. So, in today's session, we will learn about how to repair and maintain a water purifier. I hope all of you are doing well. So, let's get started our journey. So, what is maintenance and repair? Maintaining the original working condition of an equipment is called maintenance. In maintenance, we clean up the system, repair any kind of wear and tear, and replace the parts which were exhausted. But in maintenance we do not add part which was earlier not present in the system. Adding parts with new feature will not be repair. It will be called upgradation. Like in a mobile phone, if you have damaged your LCD display and you replaced it with an LED display, then you have not repaired your display, you have upgraded your display. But if we do repair work, we will replace the LCD display with an LCD display. So you can see here are some tools which we use for repair of water purifier. This is called wrench, this is called combination plier, and these are screwdrivers. So for repair and maintenance work, we do not arrive at customer premises all of a sudden without any prior notice or notification. So what are the things we shall do before visiting any customer premises? First of all, we check the request or complaint registered by the customer. Then, based on the complaint and location of the customer, we make a route plan for the day. Then, based on the customer complaint, we predict what could be the problem with that system. And according to our prediction, we carry tools and parts which may or could be required for the repairment of that system. And then we call the customer and inform about our possible visit. After informing the customer about your visit, you shall arrive at customer premises on time. And how shall we behave ourselves at customer premises? So, at customer premises, when we meet the customer, we ask about the symptoms and the problem history of that equipment. And we also ask customer when the equipment was purchased and whether it is under warranty or not, and whether any prior services has been done to it or not. Then we come to our business. We identify what could be the problem with this system based on the complaint and our examination of the equipment. And once we identified the problem, we communicate the problem with the customer and we inform him about the possible cause for the problem. And it is very important to inform the customer about the cost involved in the repair work. And you can also hand over an invoice to the customer. Ensure that the service you have provided achieved customer satisfaction 100%. After identification of the problem, now you suggest the customer how you are going to solve the issue. Then explain the customer how much time you required for the fixing of that issue. Then explain the customer about your service method or any parts that you need to replace or not. Again, explain the cost involved in your service, and after all that, seek the approval of that customer. Without approval, don't start your further. Now look at how we can diagnose a fault in water purifier. So do you know what is diagnosis? Diagnosis is finding the cause because of which this problem is occurring. Like, let's take a pen. Like the problem of leakage. This is the problem. So now we find the causes because of which this leakage is occurring. So what could be the cause of leakage in water purifier? Because of any loosened joints. So we tighten the joint to fix the issue of leakage in water purifier. If the TDS level increases, we check the membrane and the filter. If they are exhausted, we change the membrane or the filter to fix the TDS level in the water purifier. If the pressure increases in the water purifier, we reduce the pressure using pressure regulator. If the power supply is interrupted, and that means power supply is not continuous, then we check the earthing. It is also required to install a proper earthing. for an uninterrupted power supply. And if the problem is improper flow, that is, or slowdown of water supply, then we check the filter or membrane. If they are exhausted, it can be cause the less flow of water, and it can also be caused by the less inflow of water into the water purifier. If the inflow is less, then obviously the output flow will be less. The inflow or inlet flow is that how much water is coming into the water purifier, and outflow is or outflow or outlet is how much water is coming out of water purifier. Look at some common issues in water purifier and the fault behind this and the solution of that fault. If there is not enough water or no water, that means the water purifier is not giving you water. So what could be the cause because of which water purifier is not giving you water? Because it could be caused because of closed input flow. To solve this issue, we unblock the valve. If the valve has blocked, the input flow will be blocked and water will not come into the water purifier. And how can it be giving water? If the sediment filter is also blocked, then it also not giving you water, and we replace the filter to solve the issue. If the tank valve is blocked, then we open the tank valve. If the drain flow restrictor is blocked, we replace the drain flow restrictor. If the membrane housing valve is stuck, we replace the membrane housing valve. If the ASV automatic shut off valve malfunction, we replace the ASV. If the membrane is polluted, we replace the membrane. Then these are some more faults which could give you this problem, and these are the solution. So customer reported you a low pressure from the water output faucet. So you will presume this will be the common fault. Because of that, this issue is happening. Let's see what are these faults. Incorrect air pressure in the storage tank. If there is air pressure is low or high, the if not high, if low, then low pressure will be happening in from the outlet. Then what would be the solution? Empty the storage tank, pressurize the tank up to 8 psi. Then reinstall the tank and turn on the feed supply. This blocked or post carbon filter. Blocked post carbon filter. If carbon filter post carbon filter is blocked, we replace the carbon filter. Or partly blocked, we open the valve. Faucet is faulty, you replace the faucet. What we can observe in this system, if something is damaged or something is broken, if it is not repairable, so you replace it. If something is dirty, something is closed, if we can open it, we open it, otherwise we replace it. So this is pretty easy. If you can clean the system, clean it. If you cannot, replace it. That's simple. In every case you do this. So incorrectly sealed membrane, install the membrane correctly. Then exhausted membrane, if membrane is exhausted, you can do nothing, then you replace the membrane. So these are some more problems. Let's see some other problems. Bad taste or odor. Customer reported the filter is giving you him or her a bad smelly water. So what you will do, you will check for blocked post carbon filter. If that is so, you replace the carbon filter. If exhausted membrane, you change the membrane. We have also seen in earlier cases that membrane has exhausted. If membrane is exhausted, we can do nothing to it. We can just replace it. If dirty storage tank, we can clean it. If storage tank has broken, we change it. So this is the simple solution. If you can fix it, or otherwise you change the parts. So these are some more common issues and their solution. So leaking fitting. So if you fit some parts and it start leaking, and then you check for this fault, and this could be the solution. So what could be the cause of leaking a fitting? It could be caused because of cracked fitting. If you joint and it cracked, that may cause leaking. It could also be caused because of improper tubing or thread installation. Then we correct the tubing and thread installation. If the system is continuously running, then this could be the fault. So the system is continuously running because of automatic shut-off valve has broken. Then how we solve the problem? We replace the automatic shut-off valve. It could also be caused because of low pressure, that is low incoming pressure. Then we how can we solve? We increase the water pressure to 40 psi. And if the fault is low pressure in water storage tank, we increase the pressure up to 5 to 7 psi. If the storage tank flow restrictor has also broken, then also this problem may occur. Then what we do? We change the or replace the flow restrictor. Incorrectly installed membrane also give you this problem, and then we check the membrane installation to solve the issue. If the problem is milky way, that is giving it some whitish outflow, air is mixed with the outflow. It may caused in the new system because some air is present already in the system. So when you continue use it, the air inside it will go out, and it automatically fix the problem. And in other case, if membrane is not good or it exhausted, then we replace the membrane to fix the issue. If the outflow pocket make noise, then it also because of air is coming with flow of water. Then we check all the gaps through which any air is leaking or not. It is also required to check the drain tube. Maintenance. So what is maintenance? Maintaining the original working condition of a system, that is a purifier or any other system, is maintenance. How we can ensure proper working condition of a water purifier? We regularly check all the valves. We regularly clean and sanitize the RO system. We regularly change and filters and membrane. We regularly check the TDS of the water. Check whether our system is properly working or not. So how can we check whether a purifier is giving us good quality water? We can check the water quality by checking the TDS of the water. So what is TDS? TDS is total dissolved solid particle in water. In water, there are various solid particle impurities, bacteria, lichens, minerals, so many things are dissolved in water. And that is why water is also called universal solvent. It can dissolve most of the things. So by using a TDS meter, we can check how much dissolved solid present in the water, which also indicate purity of the water. If the TDS is less, the water is ideal for drinking. If the TDS is high in the water may not be ideal for drinking. So how can we check the TDS of an water? Take the TDS meter which is present in your lab, and take a glass of water, pour the TDS meter into the water and on the TDS meter. Then it will show some reading, and then press the hold button to hold the reading. Then take the reading, and that will be the TDS of your water. If the TDS range is 0 to 80, it is ideal for drinking. Above 80, it gets started hardening. In the previous cases, we have many times in the repair, they asked you to check valves. So how can you check valves? These are some few steps. By following these steps, you can check the valve whether they are working properly or not. So first step is ensure the tank is not empty. If the tank is empty, you cannot check the valve. Sorry. Remove the drain line from the drain saddle. So you have all of you seen there is a drain line in the filter which should not be 3 meters, more than 3 meters. So remove that drain line from the saddle.
turn off the water supply line, then turn on the tank valve, check if the drain water is running. If water is running, then ASV, that is automatic shut off valve, or CV, that is check valve, is defective. If water is running, then this two valve is defective. Replace the check valve and check the water drainage. If water stop testing. If water do not continues or do not if water continues to drain, you replace the automatic shut off valve, then your problem will be get fixed. Clean and sanitize RO system. These are some few steps. By following this, you can clean your RO system. First, first we turn off the water supply line and open faucet, and we place a towel under it to have some, if there is water spill, we to absorb it, we place a towel under it, then empty the tank and shut off valve faucet. Then we remove the all filters membrane, then we replace the filter housing, then we add some sanitizer in it, then we turn off the water supply line, then fill system with sanitizing solution, then flush the system until clean water start flowing. Then after that, we wait for some time, and then again we flush, then we reinstall the membrane and fill and flush the system once more. After completing all this step, you flush once more, so that you get very healthy hygienic water.
The filters and membrane. So when we shall change our filter and membrane, these are some, yeah, let's take the pen. These are some schedule which are given, and according to this we shall change our filters and membrane. So a sediment filter shall be changed after 6 to 12 months, and a carbon filter shall be changed after 6 to 12 months, and a carbon post filter shall be changed after 12 months, and a reverse osmosis filter shall be changed after 24 months. And here are some steps to change the filter. These are some few steps following which we can change the filter from a water purifier. The first step we do is we stop the water inflow, that is feed water. Water which is coming into the water purifier is called feed water. Then we turn off the SS valve. Then we reduce pressure by using pressure regulator. We release all the pressure by using pressure regulator. Then with the help of a wrench, we remove the housing from the filter. So why do we remove the housing? Because inside housing filter are present. At the first housing there is ceramic filter, and at the second and third housing there is carbon block filter. So after removing filter from the housing, we put a new filter into the housing. Then we again feed the housing into the water purifier. And one thing, before tightening the housing into the water purifier, check whether the o-ring is present. This o-ring will ensure proper sealing of the housing. When we get any water purifier, membrane is shipped loose. Why they are shipped loose? To avoid any kind of damage during transportation. And when they are shipped loose, they can handle extreme temperature better when they are in storage or in shipment. So before starting any water purifier, we must fit the membrane into the water purifier. And how we can check whether our membrane is working properly or not, whether it is in good state of work or not. We can check our membrane by using TDS, level of the water. If our water purifier gives a TDS range of 0 to 80 ppm, then it is very soft water and it is ideal for drinking. If our water purifier gives TDS range of 80 to 150, then it is soft water and it might be used for drinking. And one more thing, if the TDS of the water gone above 150, then you might check your membrane, because a TDS above 150 indicates there might be some damage in the membrane. A TDS level of 150 to 400 indicate hard water, and you must use RO purifier for the softening of this water. And a TDS above 400, it is very hard water, and you shall use RO and UV water purifier to softening the water. So from this table we can get some idea which kind of water purifier we need to use for softening the water. we can replace the membrane. These are some few steps following which we can replace the membrane. First of all, we turn off the water supply line and open the faucet, and we place a towel to absorb any kind of water spill. Then we disconnect the tubing from the membrane housing. Then we free the membrane from the clip. Then we wipe the o-ring and check whether it is damaged or not. If it is damaged, we change the o-ring. We have seen the o-ring which is present in the housing and which helps in proper sealing of the housing. Then we unscrew the membrane housing cap and remove the membrane from the housing. Then we erase the inside of the membrane housing and put a new membrane. Then we lightly lubricate the o-ring and place it back to the housing. Then we replace and tighten the membrane housing cap, turn on the water supply and check for any leak. Then we turn on the faucet and allow water to flow. In this way we can change the membrane of a water purifier. So this is the pictographic presentation of replacing a membrane from the water purifier. So first we remove the housing cap. Then with the help of a combination plier, we take out the membrane from the housing. Then we install a new membrane in the housing. We also check for the o-ring, because without this o-ring, this housing will not be properly sealed. And when we are installing the o-ring, it should not fold over. In this picture you can see it should not fold over the housing. It should go properly into the housing. Here you can see it went properly into the housing. Then we seal the cap of the housing, and we have done the replacement of membrane. So when we shall replace the water tank, if there is not enough air pressure in that water tank, then we replace the water tank. So let's see how can we replace the tank. Well, first of all we stop the water supply and we release some extra pressure using pressure regulator. Then we disconnect the water tank. Then we wait for some time to flow water out of the water pipe. Then we replace the water tank with a new. Now at last, confirmation of the functionality of the repaired module. After completion of our repaired work, we shall always confirm whether our repaired module is or repaired unit is working properly or not. So in case of water purifier, how we can check whether our purifier is working properly or not? So first of all, we check whether all the connections are secure. Then we check for any kind of possible leakage. Then we check the water flow is correct or not. Then we check the TDS of the water. And if the TDS is ranged between 0 to 150 ppm, then our water purifier is working properly. And with the successful completion of our work, we are concluding our session here. And thank you all of you to be a part of our journey.